and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. I think last Sunday you saw me finish this bit, so I got really far this week. I did have, what did I have going on this week? I know I did an evening where I did some paint gem minis, so I know that was one evening that got took up this week. I haven't done any quilting or anything like that, so I know I had an evening of doing diamond painting, but it was paint gem minis. I think I also had one evening where I was just sat on the couch and did not a lot. And then I had an evening where I actually ended up working in the shop till later. I was sort of right in the middle of sorting out some stuff and enjoying myself, and I had my book on. So yeah, I just did that. But I can't think what the other evening was that got sort of took up. It's a Friday evening as I'm filming this now. Oh, that was it. I actually filmed Thursday's WIP and Waffle on one of the evenings because I had the hairdressers on Wednesdays. Completely mucked me up. So I remember now, on Tuesday night, so Monday night I did a load of paint gem. Tuesday night I actually did, sorry, not my Heaven and Earth design, my Walking in the Rain for Thursday's WIP and Waffle in the evening. Wednesday was the evening after the hairdressers. I'd had a doctor's appointment, then I'd gone and got myself breakfast in town because the hairdresser was very shortly afterwards. And by the time I'd got in from that, I just had too many people, probably. So I didn't do anything Wednesday evening, and then last night I ended up doing a bit of catch up, probably primarily because I hadn't been doing or didn't get any shop stuff done on Wednesday, and I was enjoying my little self. So I did shop stuff last night. It's amazing how quick the week goes. So I am getting some of this diamond painting done on my Friday evening. The difference is it's just another WIP and Waffle time. So there's been no progress. Hopefully next week will be a bit more, but you never know. It really depends on how the week goes. That's for sure. It's a bank holiday weekend here in the UK. So whether we end up with a busy couple of days, if we end up going out and doing anything or not, I'm not sure. But I hope everybody is having an amazing weekend, whether you have a longer one that includes Monday or not. Have a good weekend. That's the main thing. And get to do some things you enjoy. So I have still, of course, managed to diamond paint now 3 out of the 5 evenings in a week. And I did enjoy myself when I was doing shop stuff yesterday. So it all sort of works out in the end. But yeah, just means that some weeks I have progress and some weeks I don't. Anyway, we are still on comments from June WIP and Waffle. I'm kind of hoping that we can get to the point of getting past some of those over the next few weeks, with the idea that eventually I will get caught up. We shall see. But Charlotte, she says she is a new follower from Mississippi in the States. She says she has a dumb question. She says, what is a waffle? It is not a dumb question, my dear. It is asked by many who are new and not used to the British way of saying things, but it is sort of equivalent to ramblings. It's just a chat, but just like lots of chatting and going off on random little topics. I tend to call that a waffle. I waffle on. So yeah, that's why I do try to put, in fact I don't think I put it in June Waffle because it seems to have obtained the full title of June Waffle. But yeah, I tried to put it on my other sort of WIP Chats. I tried to put that it's a chat and a waffle, just to help people with that one. Melissa, she said, oops, she said she forgot about the giveaway. She says she's been so happy with the waffle. Giveaway did well. Everybody got back to me on the giveaway for June Waffles giveaway, which was good. So all of those prizes got sent out to their respective homes or new homes, and I am starting to put stuff aside for December. Melissa also says, she says, on the topic of blue and green, she says, not going together. She says, everyone knows that not all colours go well. Oh, I think I need to change my putty. She said, not all colours go well together and not everything goes well with blue. She says, that being said, she said, can anybody explain to me the voodoo magic that makes everything go with blue jeans? Absolutely love it. That is so true, is it not? It's like blues become the new black. Right, so I've just scraped the putty out of my multi-placer. Last time I did it, I actually didn't take it all out. I just sort of took the top layer out, and the next lot stuck to it really, really well. So, but this time we're going for a full clear out. So I've cleared out the putty out of the end. I've got my current piece of putty, which is fresh linen, and I just sort of put it in on the edge and scrape it off. And I didn't do a very good job then, but it's putty. It will sort of work. And then I'm just going to go every avenue I can, just squeezing it into my multi-placer, sorry. Trying to make sure I get all the bits off the edges, and that's actually sunken in. So I do need more. So I'm going to go to the next level, try and pull off another chunk. And then again, push it to the edges. I'm making sure my edges have got some in as well as the rest. And that's now just a little bit sunk in, but pretty much flat. Let's see how that goes. And if need be, I can always add some more if I've not quite done it enough to get hold of diamonds. Can always add a little bit more in, but it seems to be doing, well, it did seem to be doing pretty well. I think it just needs a smidge more. What I've found is the ideal for me with putty is being able to get it pretty much flush with the multi-placer. Flush is a nice amount. Rounded on the top, you find you end up with bits squirting round the side, which I end up getting quite often because I do tend to often overfill it. But if I can get it to just do a flush amount, it's always so much better. So I should pay attention to that really. She says, as another one decides it's not going to stick. I've not got much I can multi-place on this colour. Let's just go to single placing and try and make sure I don't miss any. But yeah, everything goes with blue jeans, and I've got no idea, even if it's a green top. And I can't even say it's the shade of blue because it can be the same with dark blue jeans as well as light blue jeans. So, Oh, she also says, she hates the thought of me sweltering in that craft room. She says, just to make videos for us. Oh, bless you. She says, what can we do / what can be done, she says, to make it better for you? To be fair, I would be warm whatever room I was going to be in. We do have a portable air conditioner that we do often set up when it's like stifling. And if we have got to the point that we've set that up to just be able to cope in the conservatory, then we do point it at the craft room for quite a while before I come in, and I just take regular breaks. I think I just like to moan when it's hot. I don't like it when it's hot. And here today, I've just pushed my sleeves up, but I've got a jumper on, albeit a light jumper. I'm not a jumper wearer in general. I tend to be more of a throw a cardigan on over the top than wear a jumper. But yeah, I've had long sleeves on for a few days because even last night it was actually cold. Though we did have a storm blow through as well. Hubby said he called it a tropical storm due to the fact that it's August, but it still definitely was cold. So how tropical that was, I don't know. She says, is there a way to put an AC unit in there? So yeah, we do have a portable one. It's not really practical to put full-on AC units in, just cost-effective wise, and making sure they cover the whole house. Like, British houses just aren't made for it in the same way. She says, have you ever considered starting a Patreon / paid membership option? She says, so that your members can subscribe to it and support you. She says, accounts like that, she says, are perfect for times like this when zesties like me, she said, would want to come together to make your life easier. She says, can you tell that you're loved? Oh, I can. By each and every lovely comment that's left. I do feel the love from you all, so I do really appreciate it, but yeah, I can get a bit of a moaning mini when it's warm, so take a lot of it with a pinch of salt when it comes to me moaning about being warm. I do get over myself eventually, but I moan to the whole house as well, so they're all kind of used to it. Right, I just need some more 820. My original tub has only gave me a scattering, and I've got a lot of multi-placing I can do here. So I've just grabbed my extras. I've swapped my lids over, and then I'll take the 820 off the lid so I know it's empty. I have actually just done the membership thing. YouTube sends 50 million emails and whatever else over it all the flipping time. But I did take the decision to set it up, partly because the email came through when I was doing admin, which means I was in the right frame of mind to deal with it. And second, I thought, do you know what? It is then that option for people who do want to do that small monetary support for the channel. However, it's not, I'm not doing separate videos and all the rest of it, because at the moment I have the time constraint where sometimes it's hard to do this, you know, to find the time to do this, the normal videos. So it is set up as a membership. It's the small amount. It's just like buying me a coffee, which I also have links. So you've got the option to buy me a coffee, which is sort of as a one-off, or you can set that up as a monthly. Or I have set up the memberships at the same low price. The only difference is for the members, when a video is filmed and edited and uploaded. So this video I'm filming on a Friday night. So it may go up on a Friday night, it may go up on Saturday or Sunday morning, depending on if I go, oh shoot, I need to do that. But basically, once a video is edited, it will become available to members straight away, and then it will become available to everybody else on Sunday as normal. So anybody who can't afford to, doesn't want to do memberships for whatever reason, sorry, I'm going to have battery issues today, I can tell, because I forgot to charge them after the other night, so I'm using my batteries that don't last quite as long. Anyway, sorry, what was I saying? Yes, so for those that can't afford to, don't want to for whatever reason, are not going to miss out on anything by not becoming a member. But if you are somebody who does want to become a member, then you do get the perk of seeing videos a little bit earlier. Sometimes there will be earlier than others. So in an ideal week, and I say an ideal week because no 2 weeks are the same for me. Sometimes I'm a lot more organised with YouTube than other times. So in an ideal week, I would have everything filmed before now, as I'm filming this on a Friday evening, and it would all actually be uploaded and ready, and all videos would be ready from by a Friday night. I would have all videos ready up until the following Wednesday. And they'd all be edited, uploaded, scheduled. I'd even potentially have a few unboxing videos scheduled even further ahead. And yeah, you would get access to those before they went live. The only ones you won't get access to, in effect, early, any that a company maybe wants them at a certain time. Like Fan Sales Fridays, for example. They always go up on every other Friday. But yeah, so the option is there if anybody wants it, but do not feel like you have to, and do not feel like you will miss out if that's the case, because you won't. But those eager beavers, or maybe those that like to watch in bulk for different people, you know, different types of videos in bulk, then yeah, you would get that option, and you will get them as soon as I've got them filmed and uploaded onto YouTube, which sometimes is not long before they're due up, and sometimes I'm well prepared and you might even get it a week in advance. There has been times in the past that I've actually had a couple of weeks worth of videos done at once, but don't expect that for a while. It's normally my WIP and waffles that I don't tend to get over ahead on, but yeah. Monique says, hi Rebecca. She says, happy Friday, her zesty friends. Well, happy Friday. That works extremely well when I'm filming this. So I hope you've had an amazing Friday as well. Diamond Painting with the Edward. She says, hi Rebecca and her zesty brothers and sisters. She says, sounds like a very busy next few weeks. She says, don't overdo it in the heat, and grab a fan, or do it in the aircon. She said she has learnt to embrace the chaos. She says, so you just embrace it and give it a proper giggle when the chaos gets you good. She said, don't forget a whistle, because always look on the bright side of life. She says, getting upset will only get you down. To be honest, I too love the chaos. The chaos drives me to get stuff done. I think this was when our final advent bits turned up and our diamond dust drills turned up. And yeah, I had a few late evenings working in the shop, but I actually loved it. Like, it was doing something I enjoy, with something new and fresh, and yeah, it just heightens the excitement even more. So yeah, I love it when it's chaotic. I'm actually probably prefer it less when I have a big list of stuff, you know, that potentially needs restocking. Like I could, in an ideal world, I'd have more of them on the shelf, ready to go when orders come in, but nothing's urgent. So I don't need it for an order that's been placed. I find motivating myself to get stuff done when that's the case is a whole ton harder. So, but yeah, we've actually packed another batch of Advent today, Megan and I. When I say batch, we're doing like 25 at a time. Last year we were packing them in batches of 20, but this year we've decided to go for 25, and it pretty much takes us all day to pack 25. So we've had quite a few days already. But yeah, we've packed another batch today, which means we should be able to start sending out some more of the pre-orders next week. So these are pre-orders that have been placed in August. We'll be able to get some more of those out next week, but then we'll also be taking days next week to pack more batches, just to get through orders that are already placed. And then we'll be able to just start working on batches for orders to come, which will be nice. Be nice when I can get to the point that I have no open orders in my system and I know that they're all on their way, because that makes me happy. She also says, she's been working on the painting. She's determined to get it done by the end of June. She says she puts on her audiobook and then goes, which is what I did last night. I was actually very near the end of an audiobook. I'm still on my reread or re-listen of JD Robb, but there's actually a new one due out on the 3rd of September. And I am about 3 books away from being at the end of them. So I'm kind of hoping that I have activities either shop-wise or hobbies-wise that I can listen to my audiobooks and get caught up, so that come the 3rd of September I can download the new one and listen to it. Before I go to a couple of other sort of series that I've listened to that have had new books come out since. They're a lot shorter series, those though, so I might go and do, I don't know whether I'll do some re-listens to them, but I think I might listen to the newest ones. Cat Lady, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, will you be delivering Advents via Royal Mail again this year? She says the reason she's asking is they hope to be moving before October, and they'll be redirecting their Royal Mail deliveries, but if other couriers are used, we can't redirect. Yes, we are using Royal Mail. They are the most cost effective, or pretty much all around the world. To start with Royal Mail and then go to others. I think there's just one customer that requested courier. But apart from that, we primarily use Royal Mail, and Advents will be going via Royal Mail. Because they're actually not bad at delivering them next day in the UK. And occasionally they keep getting quicker in the US as well. So we'll take that for the win. Dee says she's happy to see a sneak peek of the drills in the group. These are the diamond dust drills. She says she knows she gets anxious with deliveries as well. She says she's currently having to wait for her kit, which is on its way to Singapore. She says, but she's in Australia. And she has no idea what's happened, but she's trying to be patient and waiting for the 7 days of no movement on tracking before she reaches out to the company. She's hoping that it arrives soon. Hopefully it will. Sometimes parcels do take a route that we have no idea why they have taken that route at all, and still end up making it to the right place. It's like overnight they just go ba-bump. Here we are. And some worker somewhere has just put it in the wrong batch of cargo, and then if it's in Singapore they go, that's not us, and send it on the right way. So hopefully that's what happens with yours. Hopefully you got it all. Liz, she says, thanks Rebecca. She says you sounded like a Duracell bunny today. Some days I am like a Duracell bunny. I think that's why I kept going yesterday. I was feeling a bit Duracell bunny today, but I just finished packing the last of a batch of Advent, and yeah, I ended up tidying up and clearing out any rubbish from the shop, and I gave it a dust and a hoover and a mop, and yeah, sort of gave it a good sort out. And rather than starting to do something else in the shop that would have messed all that up, I thought, you know what, I'll just come and chat to you guys. Because if I didn't chat to you tonight, it would probably be Sunday morning. Because I'm pretty sure it's nails day tomorrow. Though I haven't actually checked my calendar. I'm sure it is, I just don't know what time it is. But yeah, it's definitely nails tomorrow, because I remember Karis mentioning it. But what time it is, I've got no idea. Which means I've got no idea if I'd film tomorrow or not. She says, you sound like a Duracell bunny today, being excited about the new shop / Advent delivery. Yes, it was a very, very big delivery of all new items, which is what makes me super happy. There is still loads of Diamond Industrials to sort though. I did like a batch of each. But the other night when I was actually in there till later, I started going through and actually completely sorting out a batch of them. But yeah, it's going to be a long, long process, that one. It's just going to be one that I tick along with. But yeah, I can't wait to put some Diamond Industrials in the paint gem as well. I think that's another reason I did some of those on Monday and then just got carried away and did an actual batch of them, is because I'm eager to finish that set, the 3 that I've got kitted up. I'm eager to finish them so that I can set up my next 3 sets, but put some Diamond Industrials with them. How sad's that? Anyway, she says, she's one of those people who has had a successful / productive June. I do apologise if you can hear Luna barking. I think Megan has just had some food delivered. She doesn't like people at the door. So yeah, she's had a successful, productive June. She says her total will be 2 paint gem sets, butterflies and summer. So complete sets, 3 cards, not diamond painted, 3 completed canvases, Mad Hatter by Hannah Lynn, which is 42.6 by 60.8 centimetres in round, which is Flower Shop by Mrs. Butter D, which is 50.7 by 70.6 in round, and her June Waffle canvas, which is Daylight by Puff Gator, which is 42.6 by 50.7 centimetres in round. She said she's trying to keep daylight going until the 30th of June. But as she really wants to kit up her July project and de-kit June Waffle before the beginning of July, she might get it finished a day early. Goodness me, you're putting the rest of us to shame. That is an amazing amount, Liz. Amazing amount. Right, I'm just going to do some ABs because these are jumping out at me. And I'm going for my cheap pen that doesn't actually look that sticky. But I don't have to take the top off this one. So that's why I'm going for my cheap one. Because it was just there, staring at me. Lady Dax, she says she's with me. She says in relation to sticking with Paint Gem minis. She says she doesn't like the border around the Diamond Art Club ones either. She says, to be honest, she says she doesn't think anyone could top Paint Gem for mini diamond paintings. I'm with you on that one. Just that size of painting, I think, is just something they're so good at. That, yeah, I'm just happy to continue supporting them. I've seen a couple of others, quite a few other companies sort of popping up since, and some of them seem very, very similar. Some of them not so much, but some of them do look far too similar for my liking. But that's personal preference. That's just the stance I prefer to take with it myself. She says if she lived closer, she said she would love to be there helping me sort out the sneak peek item that you shared in the group. Well, if you ever move up this way, there is still plenty to sort out. I say I've sorted out a batch of them. We have plenty in stock. We did make sure we got plenty to be able to meet everybody's needs. So, yeah, they're an ongoing item over here. But to be honest, it's a fun one to do as well. I actually quite like prepping them when I'm doing them in sort of bursts. It's a bit like Advent. I love doing Advent, but the other week when we did like a full solid week of prepping, of boxing up Advent, it's not the quickest process. And by the end of the week, both of us were like, oh. And then we hit into launch and got variety. Whereas now we are getting there with it now, and it doesn't feel as pressured. So yeah, I actually enjoyed doing it today because we've had a week or so where we haven't had to prep any. So yeah. Oh, I thought I'd just got all of the white ones then, and then I've just spotted the huge chunk of them over here. Pinky, she says, hello Zesty. She says today has been a bit cooler, and she said it has been a good day. I'm just checking. I thought I had another one to place over there, but I don't. I do have one that's popping up though. Get down. Why are you not getting down? Oh no, it is down. It's just me. It's the way the light's shining. So yeah, she says today has been a bit cooler. She's been down on the seafront. She says hoping for an ice cream, but it's a bit cold for that. There is ideal ice cream weather. I know some people will have ice cream no matter what the weather, but for me, there does have to be a certain, I couldn't tell you what the temperature is, but it does have to be a certain temperature for me to fully enjoy an ice cream. But yeah, I know some people will just have them no matter what. Jess, she says, wishing your son a happy birthday. She says she's been getting to the June waffle video, she says, a little bit later in the day, so she didn't notice the error the other day. She said, as I'd already corrected it. She says she's been working on multiple projects alongside the June waffle, Harry Potter being her biggest, and she's loving it so far. She said she's had tons of 310. Last night she placed the last of them and danced a jig. I love it. Dance a jig when your 310's done. She says she thinks she started with over 20 bags of black, and she's ended up with 3.5 left over. Black is definitely a thing, isn't it? They're never the best quality drills either. I think partly just due to the process, and partly they just can't be checked in the same way as other colours. So yeah, that is definitely an achievement. I don't blame you for dancing a jig. Oh, I've just decided to carry on and place the rest of my ABs, because then I can nudge them about with the other drills that I place around them. Especially when I'm using this pen that's a bit flatter than all the others. Becky, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, what wonderful news for us Zesties. The Advent will be ready for ordering in July. She says this is her first Advent, she says, with anyone, as she's just started watching YouTube in April. She says her question is, as she lives in the States, she says, do you prefer that she places separate orders, one for the Advent and a different one for other shop items? In relation to the order, in one way it doesn't make sense, whether you place them together or separate in relation to cost. But it can be easier for me if, when I am sending out Advents, because I tend to send them in bulk, like the pre-orders, once we've got a batch ready, and then we send out them in batches. It is often easier if it is just the Advent, because we're sending out so many orders at one time. But it's more beneficial for you to actually do 2 separate orders. The reason being is the Advent itself, until the end of August, is free shipping anywhere in the world. So that includes the States. It's our free standard shipping. So you're not spending more by splitting the order up. If you ordered your Advent and other items, you would still pay your shipping on other items, but they would only get sent together. So by placing 2 separate orders, whatever else you order will get sent out straight away in our normal shipping time frame, which is normally 1 working day. Of course, there's a bank holiday this weekend, so if you don't have a bank holiday, it would be classed as 2 working days for you. But really, it's still only 1 working day for us. So yeah, it's just more beneficial for you to do them in separate orders, because then you can get all the goodies quicker. And then you'll get your Advent as soon as we literally go down the list when it comes to Advent. Occasionally one order will hop in front of the other, but only because it's, say, for the States, and it's filling up a mailbag for the States. Whereas the next person in the list might be UK, but that bag's already full. So yeah, that's the only time that sort of one order may hop in front of another, is because if it didn't hop in front of the other, it wouldn't make any difference. The one it's hopped over wouldn't get sent instead, because that mailbag's already full for that day. So, and there's never much of a delay between them. You're only talking a day's delay for the next one to go. So yeah, that's the only reason in August, or July and August, we suggest that you place separate orders. Though come September, when you are paying shipping for Advent and it's no longer on pre-order, then place your order together, because then shipping's less than it would be placing 2 separate orders, because you will be paying for shipping then. That makes sense, hopefully. I'm sure one of you guys will tell me if not. Sarah says, hi Rebecca. She says, it was wonderful hearing your excitement about the large Advent shipment that arrived with me today. She says she had her ears on high alert, listening for any clues, she says, for the items. She says, but you did well, because she didn't hear any. She said, oh shucks. I have had to become extremely good when it comes to talking Advent on videos, and it's been a couple of years now of doing it, so I have become a pro at not discussing what is in Advent in any way, shape or form. But yeah, it was a very big excitement. It was partly an excitement shipment because of the items that were in it, and the excitement for the items that were in it, because they are exclusive to us. But it was also exciting because it was the last of the Advent items, which meant it was packing time, which meant, yeah, we could start getting ready for the pre-orders that are coming out to ship them, like before we state on the listing that we're going to. We always try to give you sort of worst case scenario, but we try to ship them out quicker than we say, because I really don't like having open orders in our system that haven't shipped. I don't like it. I much prefer to get items shipped out as quick as possible. However, I do also completely understand people wanting to get the Advent ordered so they know they've got it, and they like to spread it out and actually pay for it in July, sorry. So, yeah, I just suck it up and deal with it. But yeah, I'm loving it now because they're starting to go out, and we'll be getting another batch out next week, maybe even 2. I'm not quite sure what the week looks like next week yet. So yeah, and then I'm now waiting on the excitement of the painting that we're doing for December Advent. Too many words of Advent, but the Advent event. Yeah, I'm excited for that as well. So that will be our next exciting delivery that will turn up, and I can't wait to share more details of that with you when I have it in my hands. Because yeah, I want to have it in my hands to be able to share stuff with you on that one. So it's always a mad time in the summer holidays around here, and it's not because kids are off school. It's because all the Christmas goodies arrive. We do Christmas in the summer holidays, never mind summer. Cross Stitch and Tat, she says she's finished her waffle painting early. She says she's not sure why. She says, though, as soon as she finished, their huge mesquite tree, in the front yard came crashing down. Oh no. She said it just missed a car. Flipping heck. She says hubby and brother-in-law worked on it for 2 hours to clear the car last night. She says they were up early this morning and worked 3 hours. But at 9 a.m, she said it was 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 37.7 degrees Celsius. Oh my goodness me. She says, and 30% humidity, so they stopped. I don't blame you. She says hubby is going to buy a new chainsaw, as mesquite is such a hard wood to cut. She says her me time today is going to be polishing and stamping her nails for the 4th of July coming up. Love it. She says she'll put a photo on the group when she finishes. Absolutely love it. Hubby's playing with a chainsaw and you're painting your nails. Sounds like a dream. So glad that the tree didn't do any more damage though. That just the sound of that would have just been absolutely horrific as far as I'm concerned. Jen, she says, hi. She says, did you know that DAC has also upgraded their box and toolkit? She says there are more upgrades to come. I have heard they have. I've seen some pictures in like the group and stuff. To be honest, I don't use their toolkits. I don't think I ever have done. I'm trying to think like right back before I had my fancy trays, if I even used their trays. I don't think I did. So to be honest, I've never used their toolkits. And the box doesn't make a huge difference to me. So while I have seen them, and yes, it would have been nice if Cozy Cabin that I was going to unbox next week was in it, just in the new one, just to show you guys. It's not something I use, so it's not an upgrade that I'm particularly fussed about. I get some people are, and more power to them. But yeah, it's not something that actually makes a difference as to whether I order or not a painting. So I'm sure there are many that unbox and showcase the new things like that, that I'm not going to order just to try and get one, because I'd never use it. Never use it. Crafty Erin, she says she has finished a true to size 40 by 40 square diamond painting for the June Waffle. Woo! She says she also had her birthday on the 25th of June. Happy belated birthday. How belated am I with that? She says she's enjoyed both watching the videos and working alongside. She says thank you for sharing your time with us in June. And it's the best birthday gift ever. Oh, bless. Well, I'm so happy you got the birthday gift from me of my time, even if I don't get to say happy birthday until pretty much 2 months later. But yeah, I do hope you had a wonderful day. It sounds like you did. Doro, she said, Doro be punked. Still love that username. She says so close to finish. She says June went away quite fast, which is true, and had good and bad things for herself. Hopefully not too many bad. She says, but she tries to remember the good things, and look forward to their holiday in September, which is even closer now. She says, and from there, December Waffle is nearly here. Yes, and I'm getting excited for the painting for that to arrive. And then, yeah, should be good. I'm going to enjoy it anyway. She says, wishing all the zesties a nice and comfortable warm summer. I think emphasis on the comfortable, because most of us have had rather uncomfortable weather. She says, hug and loves to all of you. Alley Cat, she says, my goodness, Rebecca, she said, what a hectic June you've had / are having. Isn't it always the way though? It always comes during June Waffle, but it's all good. I actually thrive when it's more chaotic than when it's not. And while I did have done and do a lot of preparation for things, I actually find I get stuff done quicker when it comes to the chaos. She says she knows it will be July by the time you're reading this, and the rest. She says hopefully things have settled down a bit on more of a steady schedule. She says thank you for all that you do for us zesties. Yes, things are definitely on a more steady. I'm no longer in a panic about making sure that pre-orders are packed, because I now know I have plenty of time, because I went on my panic and got loads done and got loads out. So things have definitely come now to the point where it's like, oh, okay, I actually have, you know, instead of, I know it takes me one day to pack a batch of Advent, so a batch of 25 takes me and Megan one day, around, of course, making sure the orders and stuff go out as well. So I know it takes me that time, and then I know how many orders we have left and how many days I have to get them sent out, even considering I've said that they're not going to be sent until September. I know they're probably going to be sent sooner than that. Maybe not the last few, but the bulk of them will be sent before that. And I actually know, counting the likes of my days next week, etc., even if we don't get to pack Advent every day next week, and every day the week after, and every day the week after that, even if we don't get to pack every day, we have got a bit of a buffer time. Like, we'd be well ahead if we did get to pack every day. So the pressure has definitely eased off a little bit, which is good. Means I can mix it in with other things that I'm trying to get ready. And it means I can deal with, of course, the paintings and stuff for December Advent event when they turn up. That's why I'm always trying to make sure that I'm well ahead as well, because I know that we're going to have a mad time again when they arrive. So, but it's all good. It's all good. Things go off kilter just a little bit every now and then, but I do thrive on chaos. So don't worry about me. Carrie, she says hello. She says she is watching this waffle while she starts packing for their mini trip out of town to visit her in-laws. She said it's just a trip that is 1.5 hours away, that they take once a month, but with themselves and their dogs, plus making sure they have all their meds and all the dogs' meds. She says it really takes planning. I can imagine. It's like, oh, all the tribe got all the right medication, because if you haven't, it's something that getting hold of is nigh impossible. She says it'll be the last trip that they take there until the end of August at the earliest, because of her foot surgery on July 16th. She says she also took the time to de-kit a 30 by 40 that she had just finished, and switch those colours over to bigger bags, as she's slowly switching all her extras over to the bigger bags. She says for days 29 and 30 she won't be able to diamond paint, but she will be watching the waffle. She says her me time will be spending quality time with family and the doggies, which is awesome. And that's the idea as well with June Waffle. It's not just about diamond painting. Yes, diamond painting is awesome. It's a great way to spend your me time, but you're still taking part even if you have a different kind of me time, whether it be painting your nails or time with family and doggies. She hopes everybody has a wonderful weekend, and I hope you all had one, because it was a while ago. Brianne, she says where she is in Indiana, she says their schools start in early August, and they end just before Memorial Day at the end of May. She says Indiana requires 180 days of schooling per year, and their area goes from 8:20 in the morning to 3:15 Monday to Friday. She says she hadn't heard of half term until she started watching my channel, she says, and learning about how the UK does things. She said it's fascinating learning about other cultures and the different ways of doing the same sort of things, which I agree, that is so true. She says she loves it when we get on different words for things. She says like a rubber or an eraser, so rubber or eraser, or thongs, she says, that are very different in the US. Thongs are a form of underwear here. They're not in Australia though. You wear them on your feet. But yeah, different words for stuff can always be entertaining. There are many that are well known, but not everything is, and I love it when things like that come out. Of course, waffle isn't known either. Not hugely, anyway. But yeah, I think half term is good for the kids, to be honest. It gives them a break from schooling. It gives chance for teachers to catch up. Because even though they do get the time off, well, quite often they can still be in at least one of the days for some form of training or something. But it can give them time to catch up because there's a lot of prep that they need to do for future lessons and stuff. But yeah, I think it's actually really good for the kids, I think, to have those breaks from school. Right, I've ended up all the way over here because I feel like this is very bitty, whereas I feel like this is just a huge chunk of pink and purple. So I think I'm going to stick over here and try and tidy up some of these gaps here before I do that chunk. Betty says, hi Rebecca, she loves all my videos. Oh, thank you so much, Betty. Mysterious Days, she says, no worries on the length of the waffle. She says, do what's best for you so that you don't overheat. It was really hot that day in June. I mean, I have actually just taken my jumper off because it's getting warm in here now. But in general, it's not like I'm not cooking like I was in that waffle. I'm sure I will when I start dealing with hot flushes, but anyway, for now I'm just generally warm-blooded and don't like warm weather. She says, coming from someone, she says, who is praying that her AC functions the halfway amount that it is. She says, since paired with a dozen fans, she says it balances out and keeping cool. She says, lovely waffle. Yes, nice waffle today as well, though. It's been a bit wet today. Had a few downpours today. We've had a little bit of sun. But yeah, I think the next week is supposed to be pretty much the same as this last week. Primarily between 20 and 22 degrees, cloudy, not particularly saying rain, but then again it didn't say rain for many days last week that it did rain, so we'll take that with a pinch of salt. Marsha, she says, when you explained about the back to front waffle yesterday, she says she had to laugh, she says, as she thought her mind was going somewhere unwanted. She said it was having you giggle for us She says, but I'm sure it was stressful for you. She says, you are very much loved and appreciated. I think I just more told myself what a muppet I was to do it, to be honest. But yeah. It always happens during June Waffle. It's probably because that's sort of my busy time in the shop as well. Busy Advent prep time. Which is a good time to do June Waffle in the fact that it means I get to do some diamond painting. But yeah, if I'm going to do anything wrong with editing, it's normally June Waffle that I'm going to do it. Or December Waffle sometimes. There when I'm going to make the boo-boos. If you want to see them happen, you want to see the mistakes happen, they'll be in a waffle. Right. There wasn't as many of that colour as I thought, so I'm just going to start working my way up from these bottom blue ones, I think. Tiffany, she says she has returned home from her weekly riding lessons, she says, and she's a few days behind. She says, but that's okay, as it takes her more than one waffle to finish a section. She says she looks forward to the long waffles in July and continuing in August and probably September and October. And let's just hope we get caught up by December Advent event, shall we? That's the route I'm taking about now. Let's see if we can get a cleaner slate before we start the Advent event. And then do it all again. She says, let's go zesty. She says we must comment up a storm so that there will be oodles of long waffles. You all did well. You all did very well. Sherry, she says, so sad to see that the WIP and Waffle is coming to an end. She says, but excited to know the Advent calendar's slate is gearing up. Yes, it is in full swing over here, or at least it has been today. It's been an Advent day today. I've got so many ideas as well for other things that I want to do. But that'll have to come in quieter times, I think. It's just not been practical. But hey, it gives me a chance to marinate the ideas in my head while I'm packing Advents. Monique, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, thank you to be with us. She says she enjoys her 11 o'clock free time every day. Oh, is that the States, 11 o'clock? No, that seems a bit... Oh, no, it might be. Yeah, 11 o'clock will be somewhere in the States, won't it? I'm trying to think sort of time zones and places wise. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a States time. The cat lady says she's just bought new glasses. She says, does this count as exciting? If you like them, then yes, it does. If you don't like them, then no, you can class it as something else. But if you like your new glasses, you feel good in your new glasses, you feel like you're dressed up just that little bit nicer in your new glasses, then heck yes, that's an exciting time. There's something good about getting a new pair of glasses. It's like you get to change all your outfits with one pair of glasses. She says she also had their offer accepted on another house since the other one didn't pan out. She says she hopes that I get some time to rest over the weekend. I don't think I did that weekend, but I don't know because I enjoy doing the shop stuff anyway. And as I've said, I love the chaos. So sometimes give me the chaos and I'm actually happy in my own little manic bubble. Right, did I get them? I think I got them all. Lady Dax, oh, we've got up to the 29th. She says, one more day to go. She said, yes, the worry waiting for PJ's news from A&E, she says, was worse than being there with her. She says, though she knew she would be okay with her friend there, she says she'll pop a picture in the group that they sent to her. I think Pea Jelly needs to be just banished to home at the moment, because I'm sure something's happened since as well, unless it's these comments that I'm thinking of. Anyway, if she keeps injuring herself, just make her stay at home. Safest way to be. Right, I've got all those blues in that little section. So I am actually going to sneak off and go and get a brew. But for you guys, I'll be right back and we'll get some more of this done. I'm back. I've had a brew. Jumper went back on. It's colder out there. So yeah, so let's carry on. I'm probably going to have to change the battery in this camera at some point, but I'm also charging my good battery, so I'm giving it a bit more time in the hope that that battery charges while I'm at it. But anyway, Kay Wood said yes, she is the lady in the group who has finished outside the sweet shop. I knew somebody had. She said it is framed and has pride of place in the lounge. The last couple of days of the Waffle, she says she is dekitting it out of 4 Elizabeth Ward containers. Wowzers. She says, sorry, she says this might be a long one. She said she must also say a big thank you to me, she says, for the storage system. She says she's got 5 boxes. Sorry, just doing a quick scan for any little straggler of this one. She's got 5 boxes: square, rounds, rhinestones and specials, AB round, AB square. She said she might need another 2 for fairy dust in rounds and squares. The boxes grow, believe me. She says the organisational factor, she says, is her extra happy place, which I completely get. She says being a Virgo, she says, and in the process of an ADHD and autism diagnosis, she says when working, she says she was the weirdo who loved filing and organising. She says she can lose hours if a drawer looks wrong when she goes to put something away. She says it gets tipped out and new ways of folding, stacking, colour coding, she says, has to be done, and everything else goes out the window. You should see the amount of times that I tidy and reorganise and all sorts of stuff in the shop, which is primarily due to stuff moving out and stuff moving in. But I love having a good tidy up in there. And because it is constantly stock coming out and stock coming in and all that sort of stuff, I get to do it quite often and I absolutely love it. She says her weekend started fantastically as she saw her 16-year-old grandson leave for his Hollywood prom. She says bright orange dinner jackets, and he and a friend took him in a bright orange Lamborghini. And when he got back, he had the Best Dressed Male award. Fantastic. She says, sorry for the essay, she says, but she's a Londoner, so she can talk the back end off a donkey. Absolutely love it. Forget that phrase, but absolutely love it. Can talk the back end off a donkey. Awesome. I'm so glad that you like organisation as much as I do, because I love organising stuff. I say I get great fun out of it, especially in the shop, and it makes me smile every time when I've found something that just works perfect, like the likes of the diamond spare storage. Have no desire to change it, find anything else. I also get the enjoyment from it being the right type of storage for what I'm trying to store. Yeah, I get great enjoyment when things are just how I want them. Sometimes it takes a bit to get there, Sometimes it doesn't. I did try the binder method for my diamonds first and it didn't work for me. So yeah, I'm forever on the lookout for something that's not quite working. Why is it not quite working and what can I do to make it better? And when I find that thing, it's like, woohoo! Carrie, she says, hi all. She says she is watching this from her sister-in-law's house. She said they ran into car trouble on the way. Oh, and now we'll probably have to limp home in the car 1.5 hours on Monday. And hopefully, she says, make it to the repair shop and pray it's not a new engine needed. She's stressed and she's fighting panic attacks. Oh, after you've got everything ready as well. She says, but she's taking time to watch the Waffle and try and relax a little. She says, thank you for the Waffle. Well, I hope everything worked out and things did calm down. I'm sure we may hear over the next few weeks. Christine says, hi Rebecca and Zesties. She says, yesterday her husband took her to the travel agency to get some information for planning a bucket list trip. Ooh. And her daughter went to a bookshop while she was there. She said when she returned home, she says our daughter was trying to find some bookmarks, but they eluded her. They always do when you want them. She said, so last night she diamond painted for the first time in over a month. She says, apart from recuperation, she says the reason she hadn't diamond painted, she said, was the medication that she had been taking brought on her carpal tunnel syndrome with a vengeance. She says she knows it was the medication because she'd done nothing else to aggravate it. She said it was a bit of a slog near the end, but she got there. She said she now has a pretty bookmark, even though she's nearly finished her book. Sounds like me. Once I start reading a book, yeah. Listening to it, I can tend to be okay, but when I start reading one, yeah, there's not a lot that makes me want to stop. She says she hopes P. Jelly is healed. She said when she had a CAT scan about 3 months ago, she said she was feeling anxious and her can't speak. You can tell it's getting late now. She says, and her psychologist said they call it scanxiety. She says when waiting for results. Yes, I can imagine. Waiting for results is horrid. Trudy, she says they went to dinner with her daughter and 2 grandchildren, she says, and then to the cinema. She said they had a great day, she says, but I did tell my grandson he can stay with the dog next time. She said he replied, well, I'll feed him millions of food. There's nothing better than a kid come back, is there really? They just come out with it so quick. Quick as a whip. Right, did I get all of them? Yes, I think I did. Rachel, she says, happy belated birthday to Lewis. She says she also takes her birthday off every year. She says she takes off hubby's birthday, she says, only if he's taking the day off, which I get. I do get that one. She says, but he always takes my birthday off work, she says, since it's also our wedding anniversary. Oh, that's a good way to get him to take it off work, is it not? Yeah, I always used to book most, not always hubbies, but quite often I did take hubbies off as well. But that was just in case he decided to take the day off, you know, potentially impromptu or something. I would already be off. If not, he might at least come back to a cleaner house than what he left in the morning. There's always that chance. Kim, She says she will miss a daily dose of me. She says, and your never-ending optimism, she says, about the mountains of work that July brings. I say, I thrive off the chaos, is what it is. She says she tried not to leave comments the past week or so. She says, knowing you were getting buried with them. Oh, bless you. She said, just wanted to drop this one on. She says, to thank you for the lovely month of June waffle. Well, I'm so glad that you have enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoy doing the waffle. Yeah, and don't worry about me and July. I do thrive off chaos, and I'm actually more likely to, I tend to get, not just a matter of more stuff done, but I do tend to get stuff done and find it easier to get stuff done when it's chaos. So, because I'm weird like that. It's just the way I'm built. Susan says, hi Rebecca and Zesties. She said, we had a long weekend here in New Zealand. She says, and she took the chance to have a wee getaway. And they went to see her best friend and her new house that she has just bought and moved into during the week. And they had a wee family reunion. If you're unsure what wee is, it reads here in the same context as Scotland. Wee is like little, tiny. Wee, a wee little. Family reunion, and they spent loads of money and got her daughter's birthday presents. She's turning 2 in 11 days. Happy birthday, belated birthday to her. She said, and she found soft toys in her favourite show and wouldn't let them go. She said, so she guesses she got a couple of presents early presents as well. She says, so it was good, just glad to be home and relaxing, and back at diamond painting after 2 days of not being able to. You miss it more, don't you, when you have days where you know, physically can't do it, even if you want to do it. Rather than taking that choice not to do it, or to do, you know, because you're busy. For example, here's me pulling out a number thinking I only need a couple, and then I forget which one it was that I'd pulled out. That's why I've just tipped you up to have a look. Just trying to get these couple of bright ones out the way. Caitlin, she said it might have taken her until pretty much the last day of the month, but she is finally called. Right, well, I tried to make that last while my other one was charging and it didn't. Anyway, okay, where was I? Caitlin. So, oh, I'm losing it. So, yeah, she said it might have taken her till the last day of the month, but she is finally caught up on the waffles. She says this month has been super busy for her, but in a good way. She says at work, she has been working on her end assessment project for her apprenticeship, which has taken up a lot of her brain power, which I get. It's brain power that makes me end up having evenings not doing much at all, if anything. She says, but it has been worth it now that she's nearly at the end of it all. She says herself and her partner then booked a 3-week trip to Japan for next May, which has sent her down a YouTube rabbit hole. Gotta love a good rabbit hole. Doing lots of planning, she says, due to excitement. Oh, she says then she was unwell for a few days, which meant she didn't feel like doing anything. But once she was better, she decided to do a couple of medium-size colour blocking kits. She says the football Euros then started, so her free time was taken up with that. She says she's got a couple of days at a spa in July with her mum, she says, which will be amazing to just chill out. She says apologies for the long comment. She says she went on a bit longer than she thought. It is completely fine. Sometimes it takes a bit to give us the rundown, especially if you've sort of been busy as you have for the last few days or weeks, and just had it taken up with loads of different things. But love the fact that it was busy but good. Just makes it, yeah, productive. Productivity, and good productivity is always gives me a sense of accomplishment anyway, which I think is why I like the chaos, because then I finish the day feeling productive rather than just plodding through a day and potentially not feeling productive. Depends on how long my brain has told me the task will take compared to how long it actually takes. That always makes a big difference. Craft Owl says, so proud, Rebecca. This finish is beautiful. Thank you. We have got to the comments from the 30th. Whoop whoop to everybody sticking with me. So I'm sure there will be a lot of well done, this was fun comments. Margaret, she says, hey Rebecca. She says she finished the huge Scorpio yesterday. She says, love what you're doing. Thanks. Awesome. Love to hear all the finishes as well that everybody else has managed to achieve. Monique says, hi Rebecca. She says she'd like to thank me and my staff for a lovely month. Not quite sure if I can class them as staff. I can't quite boss them about that way, but the family do read the comments. She says it was her first time doing a waffle and she can't wait to do another one. Well, you don't have much longer. December will be the next one. I say not much longer. It's something that will creep up on us and be here possibly before we know it, especially when I think how quick July and August have gone. So let's see what the next few months bring. Dan says, hi Rebecca, they've enjoyed every minute of this June waffle. Fantastic. Awesome news. Christina says, thank you very much for a great June waffle. Had a lot of fun and a lot of relaxation. Good that people are getting their me time. Natalie says she loves my videos. Thank you, Natalie. Nursey says they watched all of the June waffle and they said thank you so much for your hard work, and the painting came out great. It did. It's actually still on my drafting table. It's laid flat on my drafting table and this one sits on top of it. I do really need to get that sorted and put away. There's just a couple of bits that need sort of tidying and straightening up in the craft room. I should probably have a sort out kind of day. I nearly did it last weekend. I nearly put my other tray storage up on the wall and then did a sort out. But by the time we'd finished sorting out the bits we wanted to in the conservatory, I think the energy level drooped a bit. So maybe I could put that on this weekend's list. Caroline, she says, thank you for hosting another great event. She says she was able to start and complete 2 largest canvases, both squares. She says, and with having you motivating and spurring us on to get some me time, she says, made it so much easier to do them. Perfect. All these people with a couple of canvases or even more. Love the productivity. Cat Lady, she says, June has gone so fast. She says, thanks for the June waffle, Rebecca. She says she has packed away her diamond painting equipment off her desk today. She counted her pens and trays, and she's decided she doesn't need any more. See how long that lasts. She says it probably won't stop her adding to them, really. She says, but she will admit that she doesn't need them. Okay, I get that. I get that. I don't need any more trays. Will I have more trays? Yes, I will. Will I have more pens? Yes, I will. She says she uses the term UFO in knitting and crochet too. It normally refers to a project that has been packed away in a corner somewhere waiting to be finished. She said she has many. Yes, I can imagine that. Something that you started, but then it's not an active, it's not currently on your brain. It is pretty much permanently filed away until you pull it out. Liz, she says, thanks for a lovely WIP and waffle. She says she can't believe that we got to the end of June. She did her last section this morning and de-kitted and sorted out her spare drill boxes. Both round and square drills, she says, needed to go into another box. She's now kitting up her July project, which is Celestial Dreams by Randall Spangler. She said it's a square 56 by 89 centimetres. She's adding a load Go enhancements. She says 21 in total. There's 59 colours and her enhancements make it up to 61, maybe 62 different types of drills. Wowzers, I've not quite changed up anything in a big one yet. I don't think I've found one that I'm like, oh, this needs it. I'm so used to just enhancing drills in my small mini paint gem. I don't think I think about it when it comes to big ones, but maybe I should add some into some others. Sheila said, thanks for a great waffle. You're welcome. So welcome. I do love doing it. P Barb, she says, thank you for making June waffle so enjoyable with the WIP and waffles. She says she's listened to all of them while she's been diamond painting paint gem minis and other budget canvases. She says she totally agrees with me in relation to paint gem versus the mini dazzlers. She said she too is team paint gem. Oh bless. I'll have to point them to the support that they've got in relation to it. I've actually got two new ones here that I mentioned in a video this last week, but I do need to do an unboxing for them. It is going to be a week or two, but they're sat here and I'm itching to open them, but I never open them until I actually unbox them. So you get I get to see it at the same time that, well, not exactly the same time due to editing and uploading, but when I am filming it is the first time that I see them. It's the same with the one I've got to unbox for this next week. I haven't taken it out of its packaging. I've taken it out of its delivery box, but that's just to take up less space in my craft room. But I haven't yet actually pulled it out of its box to have a nosy beforehand. I wait until I actually do the unboxing video, which is why I sometimes am organised enough to have unboxing videos done a bit earlier, partly because they're shorter videos, so they're easier to sort of slip some in every now and then to film. But also it can cut the number of videos down that I might need to do in a week if I do, you know, quite a few unboxings on one day, I feel like I've been productive. I can tuck all the packing boxes away. I can edit them all and get all the links and whatever else all at once. But then, yeah, when I come to a future week, I can have potentially 3 or 4 videos that I actually need to film, and it sounds less than 5, even if one of them is only a 10-15 minute video. I told you, it's the way my brain works. I'm a bit weird every now and then on what actually makes my brain feel like it has less to do, even though it has more, because they take longer. Cross Stitch and Tat says, great June waffle. She said, in some ways she's glad June is over, and in some ways, sorry. She says she'll miss the daily waffles, but she'll not miss all the rotten things, which I get. You're allowed to ditch the rotten things. She says Daddy is still hanging with us. Their tree that gave the house shade is gone. Oh, and they've got another round of COVID. Oh no. Sorry, I'm just looking for the plus symbol because I missed one and I couldn't find it. She says, but on to other diamond paintings and new projects. She says, thank you for all that you do for us. You are so welcome. Thank you for being here, even amidst the chaos. Bad Mitch said, hi Rebecca, first time commenting and first June waffle. They said, thank you so much. They thoroughly enjoyed it and managed to watch every day, and they shall miss it. They've managed to complete a lot of malingering WIPs, some of them which were a few years old. That is awesome news. That's productivity, tidying up, organisation and me time all wrapped into one. Okay, I just went to tip those diamonds in there, and just so you know, I managed to drop like 7 of them all over my table. How I managed to completely miss tipping them in, I don't know. Anyway, teach me to not be looking. Let me find my next one. So yeah, they had a long hiatus in their diamond painting and first watched me way back when I was starting printing trays. That was a while ago. And when Diamond Art Club were the only company with ABs, and only for rounds. She says she doesn't know when that was, but it was a good few years ago. It was a very good few years ago. Having spent the first 3 months of the year in hospital, ooh, long, boring story. I'm sure it's not, but I can imagine it was not fun. Now at home, still unable to work or go out. It's very, very slow recovery. Well, you more than anyone needs to take that extra me time. Diamond painting has been a lifesaver for my mental health, for their mental health. It is amazing for mental health, especially when you can't move about and do what you'd normally do, because you can still be productive, as you've shown in June, storming through those projects. So they've had a lovely time catching up on the videos, and they're pleased to see how well me and the family are doing and how well the business has gone. Thank you. It's down to all of you guys that makes it work so well and allows me to keep my creative mind coming up with different ideas. So thanks again, sending love and light to you, your family and all the zesties. Well, sending all the well wishes to you as well. Bad Mitch, make sure you look after yourself, keep that resting and keep that diamond painting going, because it sounds like you are powering through. And yeah, getting loads done. Sarah B says, hi Rebecca, says thank you so much for a wonderful June Waffle. They've had a wonderful time spending a little while each day with you and the zesties, getting a painting completed from start to finish. So to hope that I get a chance to get caught up next week. This is why you're taking a small break from YouTube. Yeah, I took like a week and a bit off YouTube, and to be honest, it didn't feel like a break at all. Yes, I got lots of stuff done in the shop and things like that I did need to get done. But yeah, it didn't feel like I'd taken that week not doing YouTube and sort of gained time as such. I don't know. It's very weird when I don't do YouTube for a while. It's like I miss it, but then also I'm like, okay, but I can get this and this done. And then I get to the end of the week and it's like, oh, well, I could have probably filmed this and this and still been all right. Anyway, it's a weird one. She says, we'll definitely miss your videos, she says, but she knows that all the zesties completely understand and have a great day. Yeah, well, I say we did get quite a bit of shop stuff done, but I do feel like I can sometimes get a bit of shop stuff done and get a bit of YouTube done and feel productive on them both. So we'll see. It's different when I go away, because of course then trying to film and stuff is a whole different matter. Marsha said it's hard to imagine. She says that we've spent every day of June together, but it's true. We have. What a wonderful time it's been spending me time with you and all your zesties. Well, you're a zesty too. Said, I'm sorry to see it end, but Advent is coming before we realise it, which it will be. It creeps up. They're looking forward to the longer WIP and Waffles, of which we've definitely had a few, with a few more to go, because I now have to catch up on all comments from said longer WIP and Waffles as well. Julia says this month she really surprised herself and completed 4 diamond paintings. She's about to start a new one. It is amazing what you can complete when you focus on like that being sort of the one main thing. I think quite often we have a lot of things running around in our heads. I know I do. I constantly have a lot of things running around, either things that need doing, things that I'd like to do, things that could do with being doing, general day to day. And sometimes just taking that time to go, right, okay, this is my main focus this week, this month, and then all the rest will still get done. But my main focus is to make sure that this is done. Can make a huge difference. So making sure that, you know, my main focus is that I'm getting that bit of me time every day that I can. Doesn't mean you don't do anything else. It just means that that's your focus and therefore you get a lot more done. It can happen with things like me and my washing pile that never seems to go down, because I really don't like using the Maiden, especially when it's supposedly summer. So quite often I've had to do the odd time where it's like, right, okay, it's supposed to be nice this week. My focus of the week is washing, and then I'll pick something in the shop as well and go, right, okay, it's washing and restocking cover paper or sorting out the new designs for next month or whatever. And then I find that I go, right, okay. And anything else that sort of crops up that may need doing or need dealing with still gets done, but I don't lose the focus of what I was originally wanting to get done. And I find it really helps. Paula says this was her first time doing June Waffle. She said she really enjoyed it. Got her painting finished, plus a few other off the canvas projects. They've really enjoyed listening to the daily waffles. She says thank you, Rebecca, for hosting and all you do for the Zesties. You are so welcome. It was really fun. Well, it was what, nearly 2 months ago that the waffle ended. It feels like so much longer though, but then at the same point it doesn't. Time is a weird thing. Time is a weird thing that I don't quite think it knows what it's doing, never mind us. But yeah, I absolutely love doing the waffles. All waffles, but especially the sort of ones that go on for a month and we get a painting done at the end of it. Trudy said, hi Rebecca, she really enjoyed the June WIP and Waffle. Thank you, you're welcome. And Brenda says, hi Rebecca. Sorry, change of colour. Thank you so much for another great June Waffle. Said hopefully things will be able to slow down soon. She says she's so excited for Advent and we Zesties love all that you do. Thank you. I'm excited for Advent. Is it bad that we're in the summer and we all keep talking about how excited we are for Advent? No. I think we've all got to have something to look forward to. And there may be other things in between, but Advent is always a good one. Aaliyah, she says she completely forgot to update. She says, but all essays and assignments were submitted by Friday. She says, just gone. Even the one that she was finding hard, as it was bringing emotions up. She says, so that really is her first year of uni done. Woohoo! She says she got results saying that she has passed everything apart from the two. Oh, she hasn't got a results yet for the 2 that she's just handed in. Well, that is awesome news. What have you got? 2 more years to go? Some uni courses are 4 years, but a lot of them are 3 years. Catherine is about to enter her 3rd year. It is dissertation year. So I think she's got a plan. She worked out a plan the other day for it, as much as she could plan until they start actually providing information. But she likes sort of organising bits as well. So she's trying to get excited about her dissertation by planning bits out. I just need to put a little bit more putty in this. There's just a couple of places it's not grabbing. So I've just grabbed the smallest part, sausaged it. And now I'm going to try and put it on, but also spread it over the edges so that it does lie flat and pull the excess off. Try and do it while it's clean putty, because then I can put it back and save it for next time. Helen, she says her fiance is still trying to convince her to get a 3D printer. Absolutely love it. She says she diamond paints, cross stitches, makes cards, does paper craft, read, gaming, crocheting. She does the cry cut, knits as her main hobbies, and a few others that she's dabbled in. They're just my main ones. She says she doesn't think she has any more room to store things. She said he's also telling me that I have no room for things. She says especially when she has to craft on her bed. But he wants you to get a 3D printer. Love it. She says she had to move back in with her parents at 30. She says when she got poorly. She says so she lives out of her bedroom. She lives out of her and her fiance's bedroom and snug. And he also lives at home still. She says, oh, the joys of trying to get back on the property ladder, which I can imagine. Not an entertaining prospect. I'm with you on that one. She says, help me make sense of it. She said, he's the most wonderful fiance though. She says, so thoughtful and kind and caring. She says she could definitely do a lot worse than him. Okay, so is he wanting the 3D printer for himself and you to do it with him? Or is it because you've mentioned that you might want to get into it and he's just trying to encourage you? Because I think that might kind of make a difference. If it's a hobby that he's interested in as well, then that might make it more so a fun one that you can do together compared to some of your other hobbies that you maybe don't do together or he's not as interested in. Whereas if he's just heard you talk about it and thinks he's being supportive and egging you on, then maybe you do need to think of space a bit more and how much you would get into it or how much you'd use it. Maybe start looking at 3D files that are available and whether there is enough things that you would want to print. While we do have a lot of 3D printers, they just print trays. All day they print trays. But yeah, we wouldn't use it as much if it was printing other stuff. Don't get me wrong, it has printed other things. And on occasion, you know, that there is some stuff that I want to find some time to sort of go looking for that will help me. And potentially organisation mainly. And get some things printed out maybe at a weekend or something when the printers have a little bit of a quieter time, probably in a month or two, and then maybe get some bits done. But I don't know. I mean, we've got the space now because we've got the shop, but otherwise it's how much it would actually be used on a constant basis if it wasn't for doing trays. Wendy, she says UFO is a popular term in cross stitch. She said it usually refers to a project that has been put aside either permanently or as a timeout. I think I have heard of UFO before. It's just never been used for me in the likes of papercraft and stuff, which is what I primarily did before this, though I've definitely had some UFOs in cross stitch in my time. Jodie says she's going to miss the daily waffle. Might have to start splitting up Thursdays and Sundays into like half-hour blocks or 20-minute blocks. Maybe that'll help spread it out throughout the week. I'm just running my hands over. Oh, scooted that one a bit too far. Just to make sure all my diamonds are flattened down. I do have a roller thing that I can roll over it, but I do like to just check, because if it's not, I actually quite like using my fingernails to click it into place and just get it in. Anika, she says, nah, she says you don't have to sell or pretend to sell. She says just invite your mother-in-law and you'll be told all the things that's done wrong or needs doing. She says she gets that from her own mother. Bless. My mother-in-law was a saint. She really was a saint. Unfortunately, she's no longer with us, but I did do well on mother-in-laws. I got a good one. Right, so we will be finishing up hopefully. We'll see. There's still quite a few comments from, of course, the last day of Waffle, but I can see that we will potentially get to some comments that are made afterwards from this one. Next week, I'm just looking at the dates and I'm like, do we actually hit? We will. It will be the WIP and Waffle that goes up on the 1st of September, where we will finish June Waffle comments. So it has taken July and August to get to the end of June Waffle comments. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. We might get to some of them on next Thursday's video, because I read the current comments from Thursday and then go to outstanding June Waffle ones. But I reckon it'll be 1st of September to finish up, but that's fine. We can have some nice big longer ones throughout September and potentially October, until we can get ourselves a bit more caught up and up to date, and hopefully we'll have a lot more movement on this painting, between me having some better weeks than others, but also these long waffles. Am I officially halfway yet? Not quite, I don't think. I'm going to do a cardinal sin now and kind of fold this. No, I'm not folding it fully. No, so we do have like a little bit more, so we're not quite halfway. So I really do need to get a bit of a wriggle on with this one, because I feel like this one, well, I kitted it up before June Waffle. Even though I did nothing really on it, I did kit it up before June Waffle, so I feel like it's been ongoing for a bit too long now. I'm loving it, don't get me wrong, but I also love the excitement of de-kitting and kitting up again. And I'm itching for a de-kit and a kit up, so yeah, we'll see how far we can get with this. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining me for today's waffle. I hope you will join me for next week's, where we get our way through June Waffle comments and go on to ones from July. But yeah, I will speak to you all again soon.